Well, hello, and how are y'all doing? I am amazing. I'm just here at the house in my room needing a picture in the backdrop or something because it is looking dead back there. Well, not dead, just bare. But today we're going to be talking about demonic contracts. Now, oh, excuse me. For the sake of the video, I don't want to be like scaring people and shit, be like, demonic contracts don't sell your soul, which don't sell your soul. Please don't sell your soul because that's, yeah, no. But there's people know about like, the demonic contract when it comes to like fame and fortune and all the money in the world and shit like that, right? Well, there's more to it. It's a whole fucking system, right? It's not just, oh, I'm gonna sell my soul and I'm gonna become rich and famous, right? It sounds cute, right? It sounds cute on paper, but that's not how it works. There's two main types of contracts. There's a contract of power and a contract of allegiance, right? The contract of power is the one that everyone knows about when it comes to fame and fortune. So we'll come back to that one. But the contract of allegiance is that's the one that people typically tend to have that worship like the false idols and they do the magic and they're worshiping like these certain pantheons and stuff, right? Now, whenever it comes to the contract of allegiance, this is like one person tied to a plethora of demons, right? In a particular pantheon. And what they typically sell it on is we will protect you, we will help you, we will give you knowledge, and we will give you abilities and other bullshit like that. And that's what's under the guise in this type of contract. Now, these contracts don't have a time limit, right? They don't have a time limit. And you are bound to multiple deities, right? And you have like insight and all this stuff. But mind you, they're still siphoning your soul and your energy, so you can still see it on your face and shit. So it's whatever. Now, there is the power contracts, but the power contracts it's a very different system, right? Because with the allegiance contract, it's like a time limit of like, oh, you do this worship here, and then once you reach a certain level, then it's like, okay, so how you gonna show your allegiance to me now? You got to take that next step and actually give your soul to them. Which at that point it would be a little more difficult to, break the contract at that point. Not saying it couldn't happen, but like it's a bit more complex. On the other end of things, you have the what is it? The power contracts, which those are typically what people associate with fame and fortune, right? And those contracts are typically only associated with one demon, right? Not a multitude of demons, how the allegiance contracts are. The contracts of power do have time limits on them, and they are divided into low grade, mid grade, high grade contracts. They will, and they don't sell you on the best type of deal. It's like buying a car when you get those contracts. It's like, so let's say you're in your room and you're like, oh, I'm gonna sell my soul to the devil because I want to become fucking famous and shit, right? So what typically happens is there is these fillers that come to you either at night, the dead of night, at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It'd be like someone in the middle of the room. It's usually like this demon that looks like a businessman, right? He'll have like a black suit, black type of tie and shirt, and he'll have like black slick back hair, if I'm seeing this correctly. And then you'll have he'll try to give you the low grade contract, which is typically between like 3 to 5 years. And he'll be like, oh yeah, if you make your certain marker, then your low grade contract turns into a mid grade contract, right? But here's the catch: if you don't meet your marker, then you die. You go straight to hell. It's yeah. Um, but you can also fight that first deal and try to get a mid grade or high grade contract, and right, get more out of it because it is only your soul. But the what was it? There is time limits to each tier, and then the highest, most rare type of contract of power would be, what is it? The contract of unlimited. I think that's what it is. I only seen a few of those contracts, and them bitches are given out. I want to say by like fallen angels or something like that. They're very very exclusive, and the thing about these is that whenever they give these type of contracts out, these are going to be for like the motherfucking movers and shakers and shit, right? The fucking world power individuals. And these type of contracts are not indicative of any sort of time limit, right? But influence put into it, if that makes any sense. So for those that have like this is like high rare type of contract. So for those that have this particular type of contract, the contract of unlimited, it's like they want you to become like a world leader of like a fucking powerful country, right? But so all of that you're doing on Earth would go towards that contract. So then it's like it kind of lasts like it's weird, but the influence and the power and the money can all come back to you, right? Does that mean that all of this transfers over into hell when you die? No, it doesn't. You become a regular schmegler motherfucker when you die. It's the rules of the game. Now, whenever you do get a contract of power, theoretically saying, because, I can't sway someone to not, sign their fucking soul away because people are stupid as shit. What's going to happen is that first the filler comes, right? And he's going to try to sell you on the lowest grade contract that there is, right? And you're going to be like, nah, fuck that. I don't want no fucking 3-year, 5-year contract. I want a higher grade contract. And let's say you're like, okay, well, I'll sign it. Now, on the contracts of allegiance, what they're going to do is they're going to have you worship them, right? They're going to have you do things in their name. They're going to have you do certain stuff for a prolonged period of time until it reaches a certain point to where they're going to be like, oh, okay, so what you need to do is give yourself to me. Give your all to the pantheon. Give your all to me, to Hera, to Zeus, whoever the fuck you're worshiping. They're going to say you need to give your all. And by doing that, what it's going to do is create a tether. I've seen it before, but it's also, you have to like do a certain ritual, like a magical ritual or something that sort of creates this sort of bond to you, to them. But on the power side, what you have to do is you have to actually sign something. Now, whenever I've seen people sign these in the spirit world, the demon typically has this sort of golden pen, and he has his contract. It's this thick ass binder type contract, and you need to go through it. It's a lot, but you need to go through it. And if you don't want to sign it, he also has this like circular type of golden thing, and it like has like this little pin on a thing. You push your thing in there, and it'll have like the blood in there, and then you like right there. If you don't want to sign, if you don't sign, you have to do a blood bond, right? And after you sign the contract, then you become famous. Now, you do this in the spirit world, or you might do this at your house in the physical world, but typically you do it in the spiritual world. So you might have a dream where you're like in this room with this guy in a black suit, and he's with this contract, and he's like, oh, you should sign this. And he'll have like this gold pen. It's always a gold pen. Sometimes I saw like a black pen, but typically it's a gold pen, and he'll have like this gold thing for your finger, and that's typically somewhere on his suit, and he wears a black suit, and he's like with some gold rings and shit too. You can tell it's him trying to give you that damn contract. But after you sign the contract, then that's when shit starts coming in and networks start blowing up on like, oh shit, this motherfucker right here, right? Now, what you also need to understand is that for anyone that has a demonic contract to them will have a certain energy to them, if that makes any sense. So like I said in the beginning of the video, a demonic contract essentially is a bond and or tether to a demonic entity, right? Whether if it's allegiance or power, it is a bond and or tether. Now, what that tells me is that I can sense that shit. I can pull that fucking contract and I can see it. Well, not theoretically, but I can sense it. Now, there's been plenty of times I've pulled contracts and not pulled the actual contract, but I've pulled people and I could see the contract. Well, yeah. Now, here's the thing. If you have a contract with someone or some pantheon, it's going to be on your outer brim of the aura, right? Like, if you worship let's say Zeus. You're like, Zeus is a fucking awesome guy. I'm gonna worship that bitch, right? His essence is going to be on your outer aura, right? His bullshit essence. He's a fucking asshole. Now, if you have a power contract with, say, Lucifer, you're going to have a very influential outer aura because Lucifer was very influential. He was one of the 7 angels before, right? He was over beauty, and he was also over influence and other stuff as well. Now, I feel like I need to make a part 2, but the video is getting very long. It's only 10 minutes, but it's getting long. But if you have any questions, please leave them down below. That was just part 1. I will make a part 2 going over demonic contracts, essentially what they are. I might break down the whole process even more. But yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will explain it some more. Peace out, Girl Scout. You have a wonderful night.